What's up? Hey guys, it's Ivan. In this video, I want to show you how to create tabbed sections in Unbounce. So something that looks like this. When you click on a tab, the content from all the other tabs closes away, but this one opens up, okay? This is not my page, but this is. So same example, same thing. We're going to do something like this, but you can easily customize this to make it more advanced to look like this, as long as you get the basic idea, which is what I will show you here. Also, just so you know, this video was a suggestion from Debbie in the comments section. So if you have any suggestions or anything you want me to cover to show you how to do in a video, let me know in the comments below as well. That being said, let's get started. I'm going to click on edit and arrive at our Unbounce landing page that we created together. Make sure to check that playlist out. I'm going to hide this section here, and we're just going to start from scratch over here. Now we will be using the code provided by Noah here, Senior Tech Support Specialist at Unbounce. So this isn't my code, I did not create it, but I will show you how to set all this up so it works. So the first thing we have to do, let me just move that for now, is create the actual box for the navigation and create the box for the content. So we have to create a box for these three or however many you want, and a box for all this, okay? So two boxes we have to do right off the bat. So I'm gonna put one box here, and you know, like I said, this is highly customizable, so I don't know how you want yours to look like, but we're just gonna go off something like this, okay? Just for illustration purposes. Now, it is imperative that you label these, okay? So over here, it says box 6 in the section. You have to label it. Trust me, it's going to save you so much time later. So what we can write here is navigation bar or menu or button list, whatever you wanna call it. It should be the container of all your buttons, which you will have here, okay? So whatever, but again, this is gonna come in handy. So we've done that. Let me add another box right underneath it. It doesn't have to be underneath, it can be anywhere really. You know, it can be like over here. And if you click buttons, it's gonna change, same thing. But to make this prettier, we can do something like this. Sorry, try that. There you go. And this one will be the main content, okay? So actually, let me make it so I'm gonna rename this again. Important, you have to rename it. Well, you don't have to, but it's gonna save you time later on. So let's rename this and say this is the content box, okay? Just the content box, and we'll name the individual boxes later. Okay, so we have that. So now we have the containers. So now we have to put the actual buttons in the navigation and the content boxes in this content box, okay? So let's start off with the top, the buttons. So I'm going to add 3 buttons here. You can add 4 or 5. Actually, let's do 4, okay? Just to show you that there's more variety in this. It doesn't only have to be 3. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste these and add these in nicely. Let me make sure they all fit. Something like that. Paste it here, okay. Now, this is a bit small, so what I'm going to do is click the navigation bar, and I'm just going to increase the width here by a little bit, so maybe 600. Looks about right, okay, that's fine. Make sure these buttons are in your navigation bar, okay? So this is the way it has to be. These have to be underneath this navigation bar, okay? Also important for later on, okay? So that looks pretty good. In that case, since we expanded that, let me also expand this content just a little bit. Maybe move this down. Again, this is highly customizable, so you can make these buttons smaller and then just recopy and paste, right? All that good stuff. Now, I'm also going to rename all these buttons. Again, they will come in handy later. So let's name this button 1 here. Let's say button 1, and name it button 1 here as well. Button 1. This is button 2, so let's name this button 2, and then we'll name it button 2 here as well. And button, this is 4, this is 3. So it's a little bit out of order, but that really doesn't matter as long as you have the titles correct. And this is indeed button 4, but we should also name it button 4. I'm naming it like this here, so obviously you get an idea. You know, like when you click button 1, the button 1 text is going to show up. But in your case, when you make an actual site, it's not going to be button 1, it's going to be Studio Suite, it's going to be Loft Suite, okay? So just replace these with whatever is going to be used in your site. Now, we've done that. Now we have to add the content boxes for each of these buttons. So for button 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is add another box. I could probably just copy this one instead. So I'm going to copy this box, put it here somewhere, okay? And now let's make this box pretty. So let's say, sorry, not pretty. I mean, let's label it, okay? So we know what each part is. So maybe we can add an image here. So like I said, highly customizable. You can figure this out on your own. Very easy to do, but let's just say this is going to be our content 1 for button 1 box, okay? So we have to add this inside the content box. Notice it is not inside the content box. So we have to make sure when we put it in, it fits in. You see those little squares, the gray and white squares? You have to see that. That's good, okay? So put that in so it fits there. And you know, if you want it smaller, make it smaller. You want it bigger, make it bigger. Well, you would have to adjust the content box as well, but that's the idea. So this is good. It's underneath here. And in this box, you have the image and text. That's fine. But remember, our first rule, we have to name it, okay? So let's say content 1, okay? Rename it. Trust me, it's gonna save you a lot of time in the future. Okay, now that we've done that, we could copy this box and let's do the same thing for button box 2, okay? So I'm gonna make content 2. Let's change this picture to say simple folk, scale image to fit. Okay, that should be fine. We'll just leave it like that for now. Now, we have to put this inside the container, okay? If we have this image here, we can't, or this box here, we can't put it in here because now it's gonna go inside content box 1. We don't want that, okay? It has to go inside content box. So the way we do that is we temporarily hide this. We go in visibility and we just click this. Okay, and now you don't see it. Alternatively, you can click this little eye icon here. Just click that, okay? Now we can put this in, okay? And make it fit. So wait for the green lines, perfect. So you saw the green lines there, vertically and horizontally. That's what you want to see, okay? And you have this is perfect. So we are good here. I'm trying to think what else we're missing. Nothing yet so far, but we are missing one thing. Rename it, okay? Important. Content 2. Okay, great. So now we have content 2. Now let's make content 3 for button 3. So let's rename this 3. Let's pick a different picture. Let's say Cloud Force. Let's say don't scale. Okay, we'll just leave it like this for now. Oops. Sorry, I'm just trying to, let me see. Okay, so guess they removed the unlock feature. I'm gonna have to look at that later on, but for the time being, let's just stick with this picture for now. So this is our content box 3, so let's make sure that we rename that. Content box 3. Now, again, we have to do the same thing here. We have to hide this box and so that we can put this inside the container. So there you go, that fits, perfect. Last one, content box 4 for button 4. We're again gonna change some things here. Click here, let's take this one. Okay, let's say don't scale, okay, this time, so we can make it all fit in there. So now we can again make this invisible, and we can put this inside. And wait for the green light on both of them. There you go. Okay, so we're done with the formation process. Oh, we forgot one thing, guys. We forgot to label this content box 4, okay? Important for later on. Good. Now let's add the code, okay? So I already have some code here for the other tabbed section I created, but let's redo this, okay? So we can enter both of these. I will explain what the CSS means and what you can change in this and in this code, but I'm not going to be able to go into detail as to what each part of this means, okay? Just know that it will work for you, okay? This is not my code. It's a code made by Noah. Awesome job, Noah. But if you want to know details about why certain things in this code work, ask him, okay? So let's open JavaScript. I'm going to add new JavaScript, and I'm going to name this, let's say, tabbed content number 2 or YouTube content, right? Whatever we want to name it. So let's put that in for now, okay? Let's just do that for now, and let's just take this as well. And I will roughly explain what each of those means and how you can edit them, okay? Okay, so tabbed content number 2, and we're gonna paste that there. Okay, and it even tells you, right? So no, actually, so these are like notes. So this has no effect on code. It just tells the user, whoever is looking at this code, what this is, okay? But again, we'll get into that a bit later. So now we have all that set up. Let's take it step by step. The style sheets, this is just to make things pretty, okay? So let's make it functional first. So I'm going to go into tabbed content 2. So we have to change these two numbers, okay? So these two are the default, whatever was in the code. We have to change them for your IDs, okay? Because these are Noah's IDs on his page and his elements that he created. The only thing you have to change in this code are these IDs. Now, the way you get these IDs is you click on one of these and you look for the box that you named, right? Content box. This is one of the benefits of renaming all your boxes, right? Because otherwise, look, all of them have the same, well, they're invisible now, but if they were visible, you would have trouble finding which one is the actual content box. Now, once you click on this content box, scroll down to the bottom, double click that, or just, you know, like do that, drag it like this, copy it. Let's go back into tabbed content 2. Now that is our content box, okay? So it tells you right here, replace that with the ID of your content box. So that's right here. We're gonna replace that, paste it, and just go back. Let's see. There, okay? So this is our content box. So let's click done. And now we need the navigation box, okay? So let's look for this navigation bar. Gonna click here, again, scroll down. I'm just gonna double click here to make it faster. JavaScript, tabbed content, and replace that. Go back. There you go. Okay, so now we're done with the functionality of this. So let's click on this and see what this is going to look like, okay? Okay, so you have button 2, button 3, button 4. So actually, we forgot to link each button to the content, okay? But this is where we're at right now. So let's go back and finish this, okay? And then we'll go into the style sheet and I can show you how to edit and adjust a few things. Okay, so what we did not do is we did not link the button to the content. So this is where naming actually has the most benefit, okay? So content 1, right? Look for the name. Again, on the left-hand side, you have to do it. Content 1. Okay, so we'll have to make this visible. That's fine. Scroll to the bottom. Take this ID, copy it, click on button 1 to correspond to the content 1 that you want, and go to URL. Type in this pound sign or number sign, whatever they call it. And now this is going to go to box 1. So button 1 is going to go to content 1, which was that ID, 152. Now we do the same thing. So now we have to make content 2 visible. Now let's look at the content 2 ID. Go to button 2, say URL. There you go. Do the same thing for content 3 and 4. So this is content 3. We go to button 3, URL, make that, and button 4. Last but not least, we look for content 4. Scroll to the bottom. And there you go. Okay, so now we should be done with everything except the styling part, okay? And I'll just briefly talk about styling because it's really easy and I cover most of it in my other videos. But here it works, okay? Content 3, content 1. Okay, so notice how at the beginning, and by the way, all of these, even though they don't show the images, even though they don't show in full in the edit screen, they do show in full here, okay? So just so you know. Notice how when I refresh this page, okay, under the edit section, it starts off by being button 1, content 4, whereas over here, it starts off by being on the right, on the correct tab. So what's wrong here? Well, we have to move content 1 to the front, okay? That's what you have to do to fix this issue. So we're just gonna do that really quickly right now. So let's go back into our boxes. Let's look for content 1, and let's bring that forward. We brought it forward once. Observe what's happening on the left-hand side. Bring it forward one more time. Now it's below content 4, and let's bring it back one last time. So now it's at the front. Now let's click Save and Preview. And now you should be done, okay? Accept the styling. So now it starts off by showing you the right content, okay? Now the cool thing about this is, and what I like about Unbounce is the flexibility in that you don't have to actually keep everything, like you don't have to keep the content underneath the buttons. You can move the buttons all the way over here and move the content all the way over here, and it's still going to work perfectly fine, okay? But let me just explain to you the styling really quickly. So first off, you can style by going to the bottom and changing this appearance section here under the hover state and the active state. Active state means when clicked on, okay? So you want it to be a certain color when it's actually clicked on and stayed there, okay? What this active does is just the click. Just that click, that is what they consider active. So that's not enough, okay, for us, because we want it to look a certain color when that tab is selected. That is what Noah gives us in this CSS code, and that's what we have to use. So in this case, you can leave active as whatever, create appearance based on upstate because it doesn't matter, but you can change the hover state if you want to. So for example, you know, I don't like gray really. Maybe we can make it like blood red, okay? I'm not a good designer, don't blame me, but just to give you an example, okay? So let's go to hover again. So I'm just showing you here how you can edit all of these different options, okay? Okay, and then here's the text color as well if you want to change the text color. That one shouldn't budge. Okay, so now when you hover over any one of them, they should be dark red. So if I go here again to test it, it's now dark red, okay? Okay, so that's just when you hover over them. Now when you click on them, this is where this comes into play, the CSS code that was provided to us. This I can explain in a bit more detail. So all you change here are these two things. Color is the color of the text when actually selecting the tab. So when you select a tab, what color do you want the text to be and the box to be? That's all this is, okay? So if we make this, I think black is 255, 255, 255, right? I think, or is it 000? Whatever. Let's try it out. So you can also use the RGB code here, by the way. It doesn't have to be the pound code sign. So let's make this 000 and click Save, done. And now we just styled this, okay? So you should see now the change in the style. So there, see, when you hover over it, now it's red, and then when you actually click on it, the background is now black and the buttons are white. So that's what we have here, okay? That's what we changed here. Now if you want to change this again, you know, you make it 0, 0. And you can look up colors. So if you want a green RGB code, you type that in, and then you get either the hex code, which you can use, or you can use this. So if you want to use, you know, lime green, you can use this or that. Let's say you want to use this, you just delete that, paste that, click Save, Save, and now that's going to apply to this whole navigation section. So let's preview. And now, as you can see, when it's actually selected, that is the new color, okay? So just use Google to figure the color you want. But that is pretty much it. If you want to learn how to customize these even more, I'd really recommend you check out my other Unbounce videos because it's pretty simple to do. You can literally make this look like this in 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So just exactly like this, 5 to 10 minutes. Very simple. But if you do have any questions or you want me to cover something else, let me know in the comments below. I also do have a free 14-day Unbounce trial. And if you use my link, I also give you 20% off on your first 3 months after the 14-day free trial. So if you want to check that out, click my link down below. You will get rewarded for it with the 20% off. Other than that, thank you for watching my videos. You might also enjoy my Google Ads and my ClickFunnels tutorials. I will link up above if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again. I will see you in the next video.